The
Catfish
the ones-
ramen?
And now it's over.
Faturday Omaha.
Eat this.
So boys,
Yeah.
here we are again around a new location, but a podcast now in its second year. We can start doing annual things now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We first annual whatever, second annual whatever. So, but yeah, so beautiful day outside. And we ventured to the north, not quite westerly areas of Omaha to a location that burned down.
To a location that burned down.
In a different location and then
Okay.
relocated here. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll agree with that.
Yes.
I'll buy that for $1.
And this is in the former...
Southern cuisine. Frying food is dangerous, kids.
I guess so. Be careful at home. So this is the former Lolo's location. Yeah, we were not a fan. And I believe there used to be a Famous Dave's here years ago.
Wait a minute. Point of order on that. Famous Dave's, I'll give you. But point of order on that first one. Are you saying that Lolo's Chicken and Waffles was interesting enough for a reaction?
Lolo's
That's my-
waffles
That's more
causes
credit than I'd give it.
causes digestive distress in most of us.
Yes, please, boys.
So thankfully, neither of those things is here now. And what is here is the new iteration of Mouth of the South.
Or the myth of the Sith.
Yes, or the MOTS, which they have a salad on the menu, which was the MOTS salad. And I looked at it, I'm like, is there something I don't know? Like mutton, octopus, tomato, and shake?
Can I have some mutton?
I'd try it.
And then I'm like,
Right.
oh no, Mouth of the South. I get it.
Right.
That's good. Yes.
I went through that thought process
Uh-huh.
and then quietly pretended I didn't.
Unfortunately,
Of course I knew it was Mouth of the South. How obvious.
Unfortunately-
Dave, you silly plebe, you.
well, unfortunately, my brain is connected directly to my mouth, and what I think just comes right out. So that's kind of how that happens sometimes.
It's all right. There'd be a lot of dead air on the podcast if that wasn't the case.
I mean, sometimes it's in my favor. Sometimes I do think about things, but in this case, the possible embarrassment of not knowing what the heck it meant didn't mean anything because I was amongst friends and TJ's mustache, which is quite glorious today.
Has
Actually,
stepped up a notch.
We're photo anonymous.
oh.
The mustache doesn't exist. Neither does the head it's on. We are incorporeal entities who may or may not show up at any restaurant at any time.
So what you're trying to say
We are
is if
formless.
you see a person with a mustache at a restaurant, it probably isn't you. Might be you. We just don't know.
There's a chance. Possibly a person without a mustache. Or a half stash. That's next.
This has
It's
been
really deep.
Is this the most facial hair discussion that's ever happened? I don't know. But anyway, so
Well, I mean, there should always be lots of facial hair discussion on a food podcast.
ooh, wear a beard net, people. So the
Or eat your mustache. It's fine.
Well,
I
you
hate it
don't,
when
have, you don't have a lot of choice there. That's going to happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
the corners of the mouth thing. No, that's called. I got to shave then. Anyway, we did Sam a couple episodes ago put a moratorium on decrying the strip mall location of a restaurant because it's a perfectly fine place to put a restaurant.
It's fine.
It is, and Sam's like, man, why are you guys always, you and TJ are always like, oh, it's in a strip mall. When it could be like, gold nugget free giveaway emporium. It's the most exciting thing ever, and there's plutonium and cotton candy made out of beef for everyone. And it's amazing, but it's in a strip mall.
I'm not going.
So so there's no more decrying of that because frankly, I don't care if there's good food. It doesn't matter. But we will call out this time. This is a freestanding location.
It's its own establishment.
Indeed. So
Ring the bells.
ding. So the inside, a woody cabiny type interior. Yes.
It looks just like Lolo's.
Yeah. Which, to be fair to both to Lolo's and whatever, the interior is fine. It's actually kind of a nice looking place. They got some
It's
Cajun
rustic.
music. Yeah.
It's roughneck.
I thought I was going to be cool and say rustic.
It's rustic and roughneck.
It's comfortable. Was there cheese sauce all over the wood?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was just,
So it's not
throwing it back.
Oh, I like that. I like what you did there. So we were TJ and I were greeted at the front and given our choice of tables because we came in at prime Faturday time. Wait a minute, not quite, but close at 11:30.
Saturday choice.
The Faturday choice, not quite prime.
Not quite prime.
I
Saturday
like
choice.
what you did there. We went for a large food couch, which was very comfy and plush with red leather interior on the food couch. And a nice dark wood accents, hanging lights from the ceilings. Spacious place, yes, gentlemen?
Yeah, those were as you're pointing out, that was a heck of a food couch. Those were big booths.
Yeah,
I
they-
like big booths. I cannot lie.
Indeed. And so the parking lot of this establishment, I can fix this later. Sam, you're laughing. Do you
No,
really
he's
want to
fine. He stole the words right out of my mouth. He said, "I like big booths," and I was like, "And he cannot lie," but he beat me.
He delivered his
It's
own
fine.
punchline.
It's fine.
It's not so much having created a joke. It's
I-
just saying the
I
one
was
that
hoping-
had to be said.
I was hoping he was going to volley, but he didn't. He
Oh.
took all the glory
He
for himself.
slammed it to the hole by
He did.
himself.
Spiked it.
So the parking lot and front door must be located at this location because that's what it says here.
Okay.
Are we ready? It is 7051 Ames Avenue, Omaha, Nebraska.
You got a zip code there, zip code Stu?
I do. Zip code Stu does not advertise, but he does read the zip code. And the zip code in this case is
68104.
all right. So that is the location, ambiance, address, the location we sat being in the booth. Shall we talk about food?
But it's a big booth, and you cannot lie.
It's true. It's true. A multi-person booth. I told them, they're like, well, how many do you have? 3?
Don't worry about it, lady.
And I'm like,
We're here to eat food.
there'll be 4, and we need a lot of space. And no, we did.
There's 4 eating, but you're going to think it's about 8. Mm-hmm. This is fine.
Indeed. Remember, take the Faturday staff and multiply by 1.5, and that's how big of a table you need.
I'd almost say 1.34.
Indeed. Ooh.
1.75.
Are you just saying we need some pie?
3.1495? No, wait.
No.
1415. Anyway.
We like pie,
sorry.
though.
All right.
Sorry, I
I
was
know.
thinking about 9.95,
I
but
know.
that's an entirely different thing.
I know my pie. So, all right. Speaking of pie? No.
No.
We didn't have pie today, but we did have some southern grub. So, shall we talk about some food, gentlemen?
I suppose that's
Okay.
the purpose of this podcast. Yeah.
Well,
Dave.
yeah.
I didn't have grub. Those were shrimp.
Oh, thank
Oh.
goodness. That is kind of how I feel about
But,
shrimp. But that's a different story. So, Sam,
Dad jokes.
Do you want to lead off on this sucker because you had the
How's that the only
the
appetizer?
lone appetizer at the table?
Yeehaw! You're right. I did have the lone appetizer. I've got
Mighty high
Purr.
low on his horse sausage. Anyway, sorry.
That's the one. I got a little bit of redemption from the place we ate called Acadian, where I had problems with powerful pepper.
Pepper power, the pepper.
Pepper power. They had the guy C,
C.
aka Cormac,
Yeah.
kept calling him Boudin. TJ, we on the previous episode we said it in like 7,000 different languages.
I believe the pronunciation key research led me to boudin, but
I'm gonna go with that. I like that a lot. So
Boudin?
we'll go with Boudin.
All right.
I think no matter how we say it, we will be wrong.
But
so let's
Bowden balls.
continue.
I had the Bowden balls.
There you go. Boudin, I think is the spelling. How you want to pronounce it is up to you.
I'm gonna pronounce them Bowden.
I'm on board. Bowden.
I'm Bowden.
The Bobby Bowden appetizer.
Which is rice, sausage, deep fried in some type of delicious deep fried material.
Oh yes, it's breaded cover.
These were pretty darn good. They were better than Acadians, in my opinion. It also came in a bed of sauce.
It did.
They sauced the plate, and then they put the Bowden balls right on the sauce. And then you just wipe the sauce as you take it to your plate. If you're reformed, or if you're savage like me, you just eat it across it. It doesn't matter. It's
A
fine.
reformed appetizer.
This is not. This is not my pinky is not out. My champagne glass is not in my hand, and I'm not tipping my top hat. So
Aha.
I'm just wiping across the plate, and I'm throwing it in my mouth.
Right.
Delicious sausage profile was definitely there. You could taste the rice. The rice was not hard. It wasn't too soft. It had a pleasant texture. The breading was good. Little on the rough side, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. It wasn't super shred your face apart hard by any.
Yeah.
Can't even think of the phrase I'm trying to say here.
Fair enough.
By any stretch of the imagination.
A little
Thank
bit
you.
of crispness, a little bit of grit, but
Yeah.
still kind of soft.
Exactly.
Was this a Croist bound ball? Ooh. It was crispy on the outside. Was it moist on the inside?
But it wasn't like moist.
That's true because it is rice, and you really wouldn't want it to be wet on the inside,
It
would you?
was gently damp.
Okay. well then.
Gently.
I'm not
wait,
convinced.
wait.
I'm not sold here.
Here we go. It was humid on the inside.
Oh,
I will take. Actually, That kind of sounds tasty, like it's filled with steam or something.
It kind of
It
was.
kind of was, and I will tell you were gracious enough to let me get a slice
Yeah,
of
'cause
one
he-
of these suckers.
C, a.k.a. Cowden, was all like, well, I'm going to bring you 7 plates to share. I said, no, sir. You can take those away. These are mine. He's like, oh, well, I will. I'm like, no, it's fine. Just
You don't understand. I eat.
I eat, bro. It's Faturday. Recognize. But I did get them for me and my significant other. She had never had the Bowden balls before.
Yes.
And she was curious. I was like, well, let's get some. She had 2, I had 2, which left 1. So I decided to share the science with my cohorts here on the podcast.
Appreciate that.
And divvied up 1 between them, and their thoughts are
Well, I can tell you your description of the outside crunchy covering. Well, it was not hard in any way. It was just crisp enough to keep the goodness inside. Sliced easily with did a little tine in the Bowden ball rotate maneuver to slice it.
Boudin.
What he said. I was able to slice it into 4 pieces. I tried it. I liked it. I thought it was a decent amount of flavor, but it wasn't overly ridiculously
Right.
seasoned. I really didn't mind the sauce. You know me and sauces like that. I'm not a big fan, but they worked out good. I thought they were prepared really good. I thought they were tasty. That was a good one.
Yeah, as with Indian, and we're going to be covering, this is going to reappear on a number of the things I ate. I would have a hard time picking out individual spices, but the outside texture and the inside texture and the contrast between those two were very good. The sausage flavor and the rice texture and whatever that sauce was on the bottom. There's a certain class of mayo-based spicy sauces that
Class of
comes out that
2019.
kind. Comes out that kind of orangey.
delicious.
Pinky kind
Yes.
of Thousand Island like color,
But it's not
you
Thousand
know it's a
Island.
tasty, spicy
Right.
thing in that.
Yes, this
in
would
that
be a-
general
A
category.
remoulade sauce.
Yes. Oh, science. Wait, documentation
Correct.
on the boudin. So
Bowden.
I like just about everything about these, and really wish I had ordered some, but alas. But I'm very happy that you saw fit to share the last one of those.
Well, of course.
I could have totally seen you
I wanted
consuming
to.
all of them
I
because
wanted to.
there was no
I didn't
reason
want to
not.
share with Marissa. I was like, these are all for me.
You did. You were like, I'm eating these.
I felt like it, but it was her idea, so I guess I had to share.
I
And
suppose.
having tasted those, I'm going to say sharing. It's true love, Sam. I know it is.
Appreciate that,
Sharing
bud.
is caring.
Appreciate that. The only thing I want to add on to them is they were crew mid. That's all.
And sold.
Okay.
I will have to add that to the glossary immediately.
They're
crewmid. And
You figure it out at home.
that's right. And we mean that in a good way. So, all right. So that was appetizer-y.
Also, just one thing, since we are now leaving this dish as a portion of the show, I didn't take the opportunities during to do this as many times as possible, so just one more.
Yeah.
Boudin.
Very nice.
Let us continue.
Odin.
All right. So our waiter was on it.
He was all over it,
He was.
from what I understand.
He had things taken
top
care
of
of. Yes. And surrounded it. Indeed.
Inside of.
All
And-
up in it.
Yes. And so he brought out more stuff. I have to say, TJ's corner of the table got a little crowded for TJ.
Mountainous.
Yes. And therefore, TJ, if you don't mind, I'm going to flip it your direction because I think you've got the most plates individually assigned out of anyone.
Ooh, that's a possible point. I mean, I didn't do an appetizer, but I did do soup, so that's one. And 2 entrees. So I only ordered 3 things.
Do you want to lead off with the gumbo? Because I think that was the first thing that came out.
Yes, it was indeed. And I had actually forgotten about an element that was in one of the other dishes that we will get to discussing. So I was happy to see that there was andouille sausage in the gumbo, just a little bit. Gumbo, everything that, what is it, flies, walks, slithers, squeaks, oinks, everything is supposed to go into gumbo, all the meats.
A little bit of it,
And
yeah.
I am not certain exactly.
So why don't they just call
which
us
meats were
Arby's
in
soup?
this.
All the
We
meats.
have the meats.
Just saying. Sorry,
So
bad joke.
there were definitely, I want to say 3 or 4 different textures of meat in this soup. But I can see where you could put just about anything in here, and it would still taste like it was part of the gumbo. That is not a bad thing in this case. It was not super homogeneous. I did taste the individual things. I definitely tasted the andouille sausage, but the overall broth is definitely spicy and could go with anything. There's a certain earthiness to it, but it was not woody, so don't you dare.
He really wanted to say it.
But it was earthy and spicy and generally tasty. Everything played nice together. Things were distinct just for a moment and then kind of moved back into the coherency of the soup. I was pretty darn pleased with this. I forget I had a couple of the traditional dishes at that other Cajun place, which we'll try not to name too many times, though I will have one other comparison. I don't remember if I got gumbo or not. That said, this was a great starter. It had great portents of things to come.
And get out your
Possibly-
day dictionary,
Possibly
people.
great pork tense, if we need any more
Pork-tense?
puns or dad jokes. But it was a very good starter. It spoke of great things about to happen.
So, I guess, Sam, should we talk about our mutual side, or should I just go straight into my main entree? What do you think?
Well, I got a couple sides, so
No,
I
you
think we should
did.
talk about that side.
You want to talk about that side?
Go ahead and start it off.
Okay, so Sam and I got one side that was similar. Sam's similar sides. In this case, being the smoked Gouda mac and cheese. All right, so my main entree came with, I think you got your choice of fries or coleslaw, something else. For an extra $1.50, you can upgrade your side instead of fries to get a premium side, shall we say? And I went for the smoked Gouda mac and cheese. So we've talked before on how I hate it when sides come out and it's in a tiny little 4 or 8 ounce ramekin, and I'm like,
boy.
oh, there's nothing. And then
Oh boy.
and then you get a decently sized, like the larger styrofoam cup thing, and you're like, okay, this is good. I paid $1.50, and what came out was a freaking large entree-sized bowl
The size of your head.
of mac and cheese. Like I'm pretty sure it was close to the same bowl that TJ's main dish was served in. This was a no joke size thing of mac and cheese, and somewhere which I think Sam, you deemed one of the last ones we had creamy. That's where I'd go here, bordering saucy, depending on when you ate it. I think there's a good chance, and yes, this is hyperbole, that they took an entire block of smoked Gouda and threw it in this bowl with heavy cream. This was a dangerously cheesy sauce on
Bruh.
these noodles. I
Bruh.
mean, whoa. Tons of, so they're like a tiny kind of gently twisted pasta, like a tiny rotini looking thing. I don't even know I don't know what type of pasta it was exactly, but a smaller but properly dense noodle. And is that the most sauce you've ever had on a side of mac and cheese ever?
Without question.
Holy
Guilty, Your Honor.
And
smokes.
not to mention, had it be good sauce, because you can overdo certain sauces. I don't know how much you can Sorry, I did have a bite. I don't know how much you could overdo this one. Am I wrong?
Let me tell you something. This is a dangerous sauce in all the right ways. I was actually fishing in the southern cheese bog, which I believe you coined many episodes ago.
I did.
Sam. I was fishing in the cheese bog for noodles because I was concerned about the direct cheese sauce applications to my arteries. This and of course, as the meal went on, of course, it started to cool and stuff because it's a big bowl and cheese sauce does that. I mean, I think towards the middle of the meal, I could have got chips and like dipped it in here.
You are not wrong. I gave this in my head while I was eating the nickname of mac and cheese soup.
Yeah, except it's thicker than that, though.
A little.
Yeah.
But to say, I mean, it's
Just
not
are you
water soup.
describing
It was pretty thick.
describing the
No,
sauce.
I'm not saying it was
to noodle
water,
ratio.
but it's the wetness ratio to noodle ratio.
Yeah.
There were noodles floating in thick,
Yeah, oh.
creamy, dreamy sauce.
Yeah. I'm gonna end my review and then flip it over to Sam just to say, wow, and this is a remarkable mac and cheese and a dangerously delicious mac and cheese. So, Sam, how did you feel about this stuff?
I was rather impressed when my dinner bowl of mac and cheese came out. The taste of the mac and cheese here is a sharp, pronounced, delicious mac and cheese. It lets you know it's mac and cheese, and it ain't playing.
It is not.
That's how it goes. It basically hits you in the face with a baseball bat of macaroni. What? That wasn't a macaroni noodle. What? I don't know. Was it twisty? I thought it was like a mastacholi
I was gonna
noodle.
say, those. I think I'm with you on the mastacholi. They were a long hollow, as I recall.
Yeah.
A long hollow, but with I
The
sensed
liney
a
bits on the outside.
slight twist. I don't know what it was a noodle type that isn't a common noodle type.
Right.
But
This-
of the length of a mastacholi noodle.
You're right. I'm going to say here this is probably a top 3 mac and cheese I've had.
I don't think you're wrong there, man. This is
It'd be
wow.
hard to put it where in the top 3, but it is definitely one of the most tastiest mac and cheese sides I've ever had.
Yeah.
So do yourself a favor if you're going to the mouth of the South and you are questioning about mac and cheese. Just don't question. Just do.
Pony up that $1.50.
Delicious. Again, it's very sauce heavy, but it's not like a runny sauce. It's a very thick sauce, and it is quite delicious on the old tongue receptacle.
Indeed. And if you want to Sam your burger,
There's plenty to left. You could Sam your entire dish.
Yes.
Whatever else you're eating, Sam the fudge sickle out of it.
That's right. That's right. So for those that may have missed it prior, that would be adding cheese sauce to things that didn't have cheese sauce prior. Yeah, you'll have some extra equipment in the food game bag here. So it's yeah. So thumbs up on this stuff. I liked it.
If I may chime in just briefly on
Please.
this one, because I did ask for a bite of Dave's
Yeah.
once we were a ways into the meal. So where I got it, it had cooled considerably from where it came out. And I had already eaten a bunch of spicy things. So it was considerably muted by the other spices. And that said, it still had a lot of cheese flavor. It was still rich and thick and creamy and tasty. And it was still pretty dang warm. And we were a good... probably about halfway through the meal at this point. We were quite a ways in, and it still held up. I was very impressed with this. I will say I was glad that I didn't order it just because it stands on its own so well. I could order
Literally.
like this. Yeah, well, yeah. But I could order this and one other thing and probably have been happy. Like, this is almost a lunch in and of itself, and I would want to give it the attention it deserves.
I wouldn't have been mad if I got a bowl of this than some of that French bread just to sop everything up afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. And an important note, because Sam and I always wish for hot mac and cheese when it gets to the table. This was.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It lasted the duration of my meal because I had lots of different things to eat.
Indeed. All right. Well, Sam, where do you want to take it from here, buddy?
I'll move on to another side that I had.
Okay.
This is going to be my low point of the day.
All right.
The coleslaw. It was a down south joint, and I'm like, coleslaw. They can't mess this up, can they? Yes. Yes, they can.
Oh, dear.
Really?
How so?
Yeah.
Do tell.
It tasted like shredded greens. That's it. Had no sauce.
Oh, I'm
flavor
like, well, that's kind of
profile.
how it's made. So
Right, but like usually when you get it, your slaw juice, if you want to call it that. I know
Slaw
it's
juice.
My slaw juice. Yeah, it usually has a tang or a sweetness or
Sure.
something to it.
Right.
Nothing.
Really?
Just nothing.
So it's just like shredded. Was there any
shredded
sauce on it?
shredded cream blah.
Oh,
Shredded cream blah.
so very bland then.
Which is weird because it was kind of an orange hue.
I was going to say from a distance it looked flavorful, but it wasn't. Interesting.
No, it was green, so that's fine.
That's good.
It helped balance everything else I was eating. I'm like,
Sure.
I can use this to wash down my
Digest.
my meats and my starches, which is good.
Yes.
So I did finish most of it, but it was a very unremarkable slaw.
All right.
Like, I think from any place I've had slaw from has been better.
Interesting.
Even places that are dead.
Oh my.
But then it's really hard to mess up slaw, in my opinion.
Indeed. On the bright side, I suppose if you're going to land on a grenade, it's slaw.
Yeah, I mean it's a soft thing to explode. So it's like confetti vegetables. It's fine. Confetti vegetables are okay. But yeah, I was kind of sad by it. I wanted it to have either some sweet creaminess to it or a sharp tang to it. Had nothing. Just
dear.
chopped up greens with some cream blah.
No. Well, on the bright side, because I don't like coleslaw, I'm okay here.
Yeah. I've definitely had way better mac and cheese, way better slaws at other places.
That mac and cheese is still in your head.
It kind of is. So I'm sad about the slaw. Mouth of the South. I don't know if it was an off day, maybe, but yeah, probably won't visit that again.
Gotcha. Maybe try a different side because there was a
There's a
huge
plethora.
list of sides.
The
Yeah.
profusion thereof.
Yeah. Very much so. Very much so.
Wait, I used profusion already. Oh well, using it again. It's fun.
All right. Teach, you want to hit us with a main dish of yours?
Perhaps can we? Can I sidetrack us to the cornbread just because we're going through the sides?
I was gonna.
Or do you want to save that for last?
I was kind of thinking about saving it for dessert, but I mean, I'll
All
talk
right,
about it. It's
no,
up to you.
we can radio edit my request here.
I can talk about it, too.
We'll do a main.
You want to talk about it?
Let's
now?
just talk about it.
Oh, let's talk about the cornbread then.
All right.
Okay. Which is kind of funny because I realize somehow I'm steering the podcast. Usually Sam does that, so I don't
okay.
I don't know what's going on.
I'll be your first mate today. Make it so.
Yar. All right.
I would have been perfectly happy to yes and you under most situations, but on this one, it's in my head just a little bit because I see it right here is the last item on my receipt.
Speak on it.
And our last cornbread foray, you guys liked it, and I was okay with it, but I was looking for a certain something.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a really moist inside my cornbread, maybe a little bit of interest on the outside.
Croom it?
But always looking for a little bit. Not quite as crisp. But yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But also that sort of grittiness that cornbread should have. And that's such a hard thing to do, to have something that's really, truly moist and dense in the middle without being tough or overly gritty or dry. Having that balance of contradictory things rarely, if ever, exists when I get a side of cornbread. This is perfect. This is one of the best, if not the best, cornbreads I've ever had. It was super moist on the inside. Maybe a sour cream type confection, something to make that extra dense and moist on the inside, but still with the grit. I got some traction in my cornbread. Now, there was a butter on the side, and I did like the butter. I am pro this butter, but I didn't need it on really good cornbread. I don't want it. So while I would have had this on other things, I liked it, but don't feel the need to go on. I think you guys both liked it more than I did, so I will leave the butter summation to you in your cornbread reviews. But for me, perfect for a side of cornbread, and there was enough of it as well. It was a good-sized, cornbread muffin style thing.
Yeah, it was a muffin and a half muffin. It was a big muffin, like you go, the furniture store and you buy a chair. It's like a chair and a half.
It's like when you go to them Otis Spunkmeyer muffins.
Yeah.
It's that size.
It's a big
It's a big muffin.
Yes. So I will echo what you said there, TJ. This is some dang good cornbread, man. I found this cornbread lacking in no way. It was delicious. I thought it was interesting because I did like the butter, but I kept waffling between butter and no butter, depending on where I was eating it, because the butter was good on there. The thing is it had this, it was properly dense when you just ate it, but if you tried to slice it and put butter on it, it would fall apart.
Which is weird.
It is weird, but I kind of liked it. It made it hard to share, and it was definitely big enough to be shareable. My honest recommendation...
Says you, buddy.
Well, I mean, it is big, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but you could clearly chop the sucker in half, and probably a normal meal just each have a half. I like this. Best cornbread ever? It's ranking up there somewhere. It was really tasty. I would indulge in this cornbread at any time. It was good.
Now, Sam, we're about to find out if we have a hat trick of cornbread consensus.
He's pulling a cornbread muffin from TJ's ear.
He's right. It's perfection. You didn't see that, but I did the fat meld with TJ.
Oh, is that
I did a Faturday fat meld.
the fat render?
My food to your food. My fat to your fat.
Exactly. That's why that silence was there. I fat melded with TJ. This is pretty much a perfect cornbread. I couldn't find any flaws in it whatsoever. I think the only thing I would change the personal preference, but other than that, it's still perfect. Is I like a little honey glaze on top, just a light.
I was thinking the same. So it's got not a
Just
crisp,
just a
little. Just a. Yeah.
But that's a personal preference. If I had to say perfect cornbread comes out, it's this.
Yeah.
It was weird because I was like, Marissa needs to have this, and I know she doesn't even like cornbread. I know that for a fact. And I tried to get her off a piece, but it fell apart.
Yeah.
Because it holds its shape as a whole, but when you start to break it down, it's so soft and moist and fluffy and yet gritty at the same time.
Yes.
I ate pieces without butter. I
Yes.
ate pieces with butter.
Yes.
They were good together. They were good separate. And I was a big fan of the butter. I just found that I wanted to rotate between the two.
Same.
Just to experience it on both edges. I wanted to live dangerously and I wanted to live safely.
Nice.
At the same time.
The same.
I wanted to feed sharks chum with my hand, except I wanted to wear the ironclad glove.
Ah, excellent.
So, this is good cornbread. So, again, another pro tip from Sam over here at Faturday Omaha. If you want cornbread, get the cornbread.
That's a good, straightforward. I like those tips where you know exactly what to do.
Just saying.
Yeah, good knowledge there.
Okay, so cornbread.
Cornbread.
Wrapped up.
All right. TJ, entree?
Entree-vous?
I'm already in.
Oh,
In fact,
Just said
I'm all
entree-vous.
up in it.
well,
And on it.
Are you-
I'm definitely on it.
all right. And around it?
He's all over it.
Excellent. Surrounding it, if you will. Quite. Got it under control? Handled.
Got it handled.
All right.
So, I believe we're doing one of those entrees.
I think so because you had two of them.
We are going to do the one I ate second first.
Oh,
Madness.
Dave?
Yeah.
I believe you have the documentation in front of you. Could you summarize the kickin' chicken to begin with? I had both the kickin' chicken and the voodoo shrimp and grits. We'll do the
You did.
kickin' chicken, if you please.
the kickin' chicken pasta is roasted jalapeno poblano cream sauce and blackened chicken.
So, the kickin' chicken, which is, I don't know what the exact name of it is at
Kickin'
the
chicken?
Acadian Grill counterpart.
Oh.
But it is a very similar, if not almost exactly the same dish as the one I had at Acadian Grill and loved at Acadian Grill. The primary difference, really, I would say, is the noodle size here. They were a bit thinner, not quite spaghetti thin, but a medium thick, almost udon thick, round noodle was the choice here.
Not boudin.
Indeed. Not budon.
Just checking.
udon.
Udon. Yeah. Udon.
Udon? Oh, Cajun Japanese fusion. All right, I'm
Udon.
trying this next.
Right?
But regardless, the
Catfish
ones-
ramen?
That was
All right, and now it's over. So
Now it's over.
Well, that was what Bruce Leroy's was.
That's true. The soul walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
rest in peace.
Yeah, indeed. All right, please carry on.
All right, so the noodles at Acadian Grill were one of the high features of it, and because I was going in thinking of that dish, there was a little bit of a letdown in the noodle choice here, as well as the sauce to noodle ratio. A great deal more sauce than noodle. Now, mind you, would I rather have it that way than the other way around? Yes, because otherwise I just got plain noodles now, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
So, well, I did want those ribbon noodles again, that wide, flat style. These were perfectly serviceable. They were a good texture. They weren't overdone. Maybe a little bit more so than I would like. I'd like them a little bit more al dente, but that's nitpicking. The roasted poblano sauce was delicious. I feel like I could have used maybe a little teeny tiny bit more of a kick to it. But that said, I'm guessing that's just because it was the second thing I ate and the first one was pretty darn spicy. I would like to have this first on its own. The blackened chicken, this is important. It had the blackening spices on it,
But
but it wasn't caked in them to the point of absurdity where I can't taste the chicken anymore,
Oh.
as tends to happen when I order blackened things. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Sam?
No, not at all.
Not a thing.
so you're saying this
Pepper
didn't
bomb.
Oh, don't worry, I got you.
I'm certain you do. So it didn't have the problem that blackened chicken often has. It has the flavors that blackened chicken should.
Hello.
And
Like
it's-
chicken?
Uh-huh. And,
Oh.
and yeah, chicken and spices together at last.
Balanced in harmony. Like
So-
bone.
And it
Chicken
definitely-
bone.
Yep. It, quite.
Chicken bones in harmony.
So the chicken, blackened, tasty, with the sauce, also tasty. Two great tastes. They taste great together. There was probably a whole chicken breast in here. There was a lot of meat in this, and it was a big old, once again, size of your head bowl. It was big, and it was piled high, and I was quite pleased with that. Again, my second favorite, the first thing I'm going over, but second favorite, would I order it again? Absolutely. You bet your sweet baby I would.
I like that. That's good.
It's that mustache, man.
It is. It is. It's quite incredible.
It's giving him a fun vocabulary today.
It really is. I mean, his vocabulary is always good, but it's a bit ridiculous in a good way today.
Loving it.
Oh, wait till Amazon ships the monocle.
I can't wait.
And then he's like, "You think I'm joking?" It's like
Right.
it's on the way. So, yeah.
Talk about your food.
Should I talk about my food?
Yeah.
Okay. So my main entree, since we talked about the,
I mean, I got to talk about my main entree, and then,
Indeed.
Go!
So yeah, because I talked about the side first, because the side was essentially an entree. I had the Cajun burger, which is flagged with the Mouth of the South fleur de lis as a signature item.
the fleur de lis.
Yes, it is right here on the left of the Cajun burger sign. This is the blackened Angus beef, house-made tasso and andouille sausage, Gruyere cheese, and remoulade. Now,
Dun, dun, dun!
Effectively a white creamy sauce.
here's
On Dave's plate.
here's the strange thing. I made no modifications to this burger.
Not a one.
Not a one.
Gasp.
As advertised. So here's the thing. I like sushi a lot. Like I have sushi probably once a week, once every other week for sure. That's how I like my fish. Now, lots of southern places, shrimp, fish, not usually my cup of tea. So I'm like, but I want some southern flavor because I'm at a southern place. So I'm like, I need some of this andouille sausage. So it's got the tasso, which is what, a ham, right? So tasso and andouille sausage. And I'm like, here's my Cajun thing. Because mac and cheese is awesome. Is it distinctively southern? Okay, well, maybe a creamy mac and cheese is. But anyway, so here it is, this burger. The bun, I will say it is a burger holder plus a smidge. It's a burger holder. It was not dry in any way, nice and moist. There are some burger holders we get into where I'm like, yeah, that's a burger holder. This was an effective and proper burger holder.
Was there armor and leather?
The bun leather was slightly cracked. It hadn't been
no.
moistened with enough of that bun. What do we say? Bun leather lotion?
The bun tanner didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
If you hand someone some bun leather and it's cracked, you messed up the tanning process.
Yes, indeed. So
there was no bun leather.
No. But I will tell you, it was effective. There was plenty of cheese on it. And if I do remember properly, the bun was nicely toasted, which Sam, you and I like
Do
quite
enjoy.
a bit. Yes, indeed. So it held up well. There's nothing wrong with it. It was not a distraction at all. I would say it was an inclusion. It was a cohesive bookend of burgers on this. The patty, they said they cooked medium. I didn't really see any pink in there when I sliced it open because I kind of like to eat my burger in two halves, and I may have had a plan of dipping it in cheese sauce at some point. So I kind of wanted the pure burger half first, so I knew what I was tasting. Plenty of cheese. The Gruyere cheese was on there, melty and all over the place. So it wasn't like, where's the cheese? Definitely cheese. In fact, so much cheese, I had to pick up the cheese lid to find the sausage, of which there was plenty on there, don't get me wrong. It was a very thinly sliced andouille, probably, I'd go as a standard pepperoni size goes, probably about that big on the sandwich. So patty, sausage, Gruyere, bun, burger. It was a tasty southern burger. I like the flavor that I got here. I think the flavor is uniquely theirs and enjoyable. So if you're looking for a Cajun flavor on a burger, good to go. Nothing wrong with this burger. I think the thing is that I think I've determined that if I'm going to be super impressed with a burger, it's got to be at a burger specialty shop. You know,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like everybody serves a burger. This is an above average burger, to be clear. Did it knock my socks off and just like, wow, you need to go here specifically for this? I don't know about that. I think the other dishes we saw at the table were one of those things where if you're going to go to Mouth of the South, that's what you would get. This was like a burger and some stuff. So nothing wrong with it. Taste was good, prepared well. I just have a feeling that if I was going to go back, I might pick one of the more directly Cajun things like TJ got, the
Right.
bowl of stuff. So that was it. But a tasty burger. Looking for a burger with some andouille on it and cheese. Everything prepared just fine. Was tasty. There you go.
Can I go on record and say that more things need cheese lids?
Yep. You certainly can, and just did.
Okay, I appreciate it. More things need cheese lids, people. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the ball here.
Okay.
I was going to get the meatloaf because meatloaf is delicious.
Yeah.
And I love meatloaf. Meatloaf loves me.
One time
These are
I
facts.
caused Meatloaf to come to the universe
You did.
just for you.
You did. After missing it from so many years from Red Zone Barbecue, rest in peace, you made it happen elsewhere. And I couldn't enjoy it because they close too quick, too early, because they're so delicious.
Yep.
So I thought I would get my meatloaf fix today, but then my other half got meatloaf, and I'm like, I don't want to double the science here. So then, it being the day after Friday, the day where most people eat fish, I decided to eat fish on Saturday and Friday because I had fish on Friday. She said she pre-homeworked this place and saw that the catfish whole takes up the whole plate. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I like catfish. I like fish. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. So I got me a big old honking slab of cut fish. No head. Tail still there. Very, oh boy, boys, this is very croist. The croistest thing I think I've ever eaten. So crispy, so moist, so hot.
It was steaming.
I had to like stop. I wanted to eat it, but I couldn't because it was so hot. I had to eat other things like slaw and cornbread and red beans and rice and mac and cheese.
Curses.
I know, curses.
the luck.
I was crying on the inside. I was like drowning my tears in all this tasty food. But alas, I came back after I took out 4 steaming hot of melty lava fish juice in my face. I stopped, but then I came back to where it was actually tolerable to put in my mouth without melting it off. Very flaky, very clean tasting. With catfish, you can get that lake taste.
Yeah.
Very light, very not prominent, very hint of, which was very nice. Very, very clean fish, flaky taste. They're pretty magical with their preparation. Usually I have to fight off the bones when peeling off my catfish. I came across 2 bones the entire time that did not stick
Wow.
to the spinal column thing
Yes.
of the fish.
Yes.
So that was a pretty neat trick. The breading on there, very thick but very tasty. Still, I would almost say cut your face apart, but not really. But is that necessary on a catfish? It might be. It might be. I really liked it. Good stuff. It was served on a bed of red beans and rice, which was also very, very delicious. Rice, very soft, very moist, very, very ricey, if you will.
Good.
The red beans, kind of more of a pinto bean. Don't know if it was really red beans or it was very reminiscent of not refried beans, but just fried beans. The first go through. So it kind of had that taste going.
Reminiscent of beans.
Yeah, like sadly enough, I've had better red beans and rice at Popeyes. I mean, they got a good thing going on over there.
Yeah, it is kind of good.
Yeah, didn't have a nice spice profile like
Oh, I see.
that does. It was very muted, very blah, but it was still good.
It was good. Okay.
Just not the level I wanted it. But the fish, very good. I'm not saying I'm a fried fish connoisseur. You know, I've been to Surfside. I've been to Joe Tess. I've been here. I would probably say out of the 3, it's probably the most impressive place I've had it. It was really good. I can't really say much about it other than what I've said.
Yeah,
Have some fish.
I like it. So, whole fish, right? Had tail. Where's the head?
Well, that's over there by the beer sign.
Oh,
right
okay.
underneath it.
Oh, because they had the men's and women's.
Don't forget to
there.
flush.
Yeah, don't forget to flush the head.
All right. Okay. Gotcha. All right. That's good.
You on that?
I've got it
All over it?
all over it,
Okay.
and I've got it handled.
Appreciate it.
So, hey, Teach, you had another thing.
I did have another thing. I had I believe the voodoo shrimp and grits is how it's phrased on the menu. Can I get the full
Oh, of course you can.
documentation
Yes.
oration on that?
The documentation oration.
Yes.
All right. Voodoo shrimp and grits is andouille sausage, poblanos, caramelized onions, and voodoo cream sauce. Go.
Go.
All right. Well, let's talk about this. Yes, TJ.
Please.
Whoa! I'm about to get me some more Cajun food. You want to?
You want to?
All right, let's start with the shrimp. I'm not a big shrimp fan necessarily. I like it in some things, and the beauty of Cajun food is, and this is why I've ordered crawfish etouffee on occasion, because if you spice things heavily enough, that fishy flavor isn't that big of a problem. So I figured we'd be fairly safe. But let me tell you about this shrimp. This is Kobe shrimp. It has to be.
It's like Wagyu shrimp.
This shrimp was Wagyu is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, this shrimp was raised and fed beer and played soft music and given massages.
Tiny shrimp
and
massage.
spoken to lovingly. I don't know how this stuff was raised.
Were they
Shrimp-
serenaded?
I assume so.
Okay.
Had to be. Maybe some violins, heck, a mariachi band to spice things up on
I like
occasion.
it.
Some nice things were done for
Some
this shrimp.
Zydeco.
Had to be. All of the above. This shrimp had a varied and full life. It had to, because normally I understand that shrimp can be raised in almost anything, and they tend to be raised in muck, and they taste like it. It's not that I hate shrimp. It's that it will have a bit of a fishy taste. It's not quite the bottom feederiness that catfish or crawfish can have, but it's definitely a seafood item. This had a little bit of that in the way good seafood is supposed to, but it wasn't overpowering. It certainly wasn't the negative, almost, mucky kind of bottom feeder taste that, again, shrimp can have, or the stronger fishy taste in cheaper shrimp. This was quality shrimp in flavor, in texture. It was, and I realize shrimp is effectively meat, but it was kind of meaty. Not super firm in that, you bit into it and you felt a lot of snap. It was like a bit like good lobster, actually, in terms of texture. It was just right. It was tender, but just a little bit toothsome, and again, kind of meaty. Generally good. The shrimp itself,
Are you
it
telling
didn't
the truth?
It did, what?
You telling the tooth right now?
I'm telling the tooth.
The whole
Okay.
tooth?
The whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
The shrimp itself. I could have had this in a shrimp cocktail. I could have had this on its own with a glass of water. I don't care. This was good shrimp on its own. It didn't
Cheese
need
lid
to be
shrimp or no?
spiced. Well, I mean, anything needs a cheese lid.
Okay.
That's neither here nor there. So I would take this shrimp in just about any form. So the shrimp alone would have been good. It didn't need to be spiced. But it was spiced. But we're not going to talk about that spice just yet. We're going to talk about the grits. Because I had shrimp, and I had andouille sausage, and the andouille sausage was good. We've been over that a little bit. Spicy, smoky, tasty, all the things that andouille sausage should be. Sliced just thick enough to have its presence definitely known. It was a good bite of sausage, but also thin enough to feel refined, choice, quality.
choice.
The texture itself, the tasteful thickness of it. It could have even had a watermark. I appreciated
It's that bone.
exactly how this andouille was done. So I had that, and I had the slices of poblano pepper, which were as soft as they could be, but they were not mushy by any stretch of the imagination. Again, perfect texture there. And in the middle of these three wonderful things, the shrimp, the andouille, and the poblano, I had grits. Now, I've had me grits a few places, and they tend to be either too soft, or too gritty, or far too much like cream of wheat. Too hot, too cold, never just right.
Right.
I did not know that grits could be like this. They had that, whatever they did with the cornbread, they moved that secret over to another corn item, the grits. They were gritty. Yes, I could tell they were grits. There was definitely a little bit of grittiness in my grits. The kind of grittiness that feels gritty.
Oh, yeah.
But they were also almost otherworldly creamy. I don't know if there was cheese in them or they just really know how to work a starch or what was going on with them. These were pillowy, gritty, creamy, slightly piquant maybe goodness in the middle of my sauce. I needed just a little teeny, tiny bit of these grits with every bite of everything else. Not too much because somehow they were rich. Again, was there cheese? Or was the starch just perfectly prepared? I don't know. I don't care. Grits were good.
Grits were good.
And then we had the spice. That poblano cream sauce, I have no idea how to sum it up. It's like Indian food. I'm starting to work on it at home a little bit, but I don't know the spice profile well enough to pick everything out individually. But this was a blend of all sorts of different things. It was spicy, it was savory, it was creamy, it was smooth, it was salty, it was all the things that I could ask a Cajun thing to be. So put all these great tastes together, and they do indeed taste great. I would happily go back for this again.
Wow.
But did I like it?
Yeah, but did you like it?
Yeah.
So,
I think he did.
okay.
Wow.
I think we're treading some tasty realms here, gentlemen.
The world's quickest grit review because I got a forkful of them. Dang, they were good. There you go. Because he teaches like you try these. I'm like, yeah, wow, it was not cream of wheat at all. It's tasty, so for sure.
Well,
Yes, Sam.
that brings us a certain point, a certain thing we go to.
Yeah?
And it's not this, but I need to show it to you anyways.
Yeah, that's dangerous right there. I'd eat it.
That's the surreal cereal bar.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
We're going.
I know we're
By
going.
the way, November. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, that brings us also to this.
What's that, Sam?
We've got 3 categories we like to break down to restaurant. That's the taste of taste, our tummies, and our wallets. Mm-hmm. We're going to start it off with the wallet portion. How do we feel about what we spend? Do we feel like this is a justifiable amount for what we ate? Dave, I'm going to start with you.
I like that. So, Sam, there was I think it was the Big Mamas episode. Maybe there. No, I don't know. I don't remember which one. And you're like, I don't know how much I paid because somebody else bought my lunch for me.
Oh, man.
I paid $0 out of my own wallet today.
How do you feel about that?
I'm real comfortable with that.
Feel good for that amount?
I do. So I paid nothing. However, I did get a copy of the receipt here to break down how much my food was. Had my own wallet been used to pay for this, and before tax, it was $17.50. That was for my burger. I paid $1.50 to get the macaroni and cheese bowl upgrade, and then $3 for the cornbread. I think the only thing I would dial back a little bit, I think the cornbread needs to be cheaper than $3. It's awesome. But I just want to shrink that back a bit. $13 for the burger with its native side. That's standard burger pricing. I really like the $1.50 option to get a premium side because that $1.50 was worth every penny there. So it's under $20 here, even with a $3 slice of corn. Yes, you in the back?
How would you have felt if they dialed back your cornbread in size?
Oh, I guess I'd be sad.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to say that I should just like that $3?
I think you should like that $3.
Well, while we're weighing in and ruining your review, which I also wanted to do and was going to make the
I formally put the
I was
motion.
going to make exactly the same point you were going to make because that's
Well,
given the size of the cornbreads I paid like $1.50 for. It's on par. I agree that I balked at the $3 at 1st,
Then it came
but
out.
yeah, I'm like dead decent myself on that. But that should be in my review now that I actually say that out loud.
Well, see, it's kind of...
Sam already made the point. Sam already made the point that I was going to make.
I mean,
I'm just going to shrink down.
I mean,
over here
most
just a little bit.
of the sides, if you're going to get them, I'm curious what the French bread is like because the French bread's $5. That's got to be a lot of French bread, would be my guess. But would I pay $3 for that again? Yeah, there's a pretty good chance because it's delicious. However, I think I would do some type of
Would you have felt better at $2.75?
$2.50. I think I would have felt great. So I don't need much.
Okay.
And what I'm thinking is like I do some type of table negotiation. Like, hey, if you get this side, I'll order the cornbread and we'll split this in half because it's a big muffin. That's probably what it would do.
Yeah, there was.
I'd be like,
there
get
was
your
a
own
financial-
cornbread, sucker.
There was a financial plan going in here, but I really thought about if it was a normal Faturday, I totally would have been like, so Dave, I want to order 15 sides.
Yeah.
Maybe we could split a couple.
Yeah, I looked at the po' boy prospectus, and I know what's going on here. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, of course, I paid $0, but at $17.50 for the upgraded huge side and whatnot, I'm good. I'm good here. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go decent to trending thumbs up. It was good. I have no problem with the prices on anything. Is what I'm trying to say.
TJ.
I got me here a bill.
A bill.
I got me here a big bill. A real big bill. Even for a fatter day, I'm paying a bit more than I usually would. We are sitting at $40.99 for everything. Now, on the other hand,
Yes,
I did order a restaurant.
Pretty much.
you ordered enough for the table almost.
I technically ordered only 3 things, but first of all, each of those entrees had so many different things going on in it, and they were really big. And there were 2 really big entrees, as well as my side of cornbread and my full size. Really, it was a full size bowl of gumbo for $5.50. So we were doing pretty well there. Let's see. The breakdown: $5.50 for the gumbo, $16 for the shrimp and grits, $14 for the kickin' chicken, $2.49 for the tea, which standard drink pricing, and $3 for the cornbread. I think I'm paying a little bit extra for flavor. And I said this at Acadian Grill, too. And the flavor here is, we'll get to that. But I think I'm paying a little bit extra for flavor. And in terms of quantity, I got a lot. This isn't even decent. I'm thumbs up on price at $40.99. For what I got, for what I ate, for what I tasted. I am totally happy with this price. I could get away cheaper and be very comfortable. I could probably get myself down around 20 and have a really very nice meal and be plenty full. I think they did well by me on price. Thumbs up.
Sam.
Yes, Sam.
Well, I, much like TJ, paid for 2 today. I treated my lady out today. My total $61.36. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of food. I don't know what that breaks down for me personally, but I did get a $20 dish, basically. The whole catfish plate is an $18 dish. With my 2 sides, I got a side of coleslaw and a side of mac and cheese. So that's another $8 right there. This is trend, and then an $8 appetizer. Whew. I had to breathe after I read that.
It's a lot of food.
It's a lot of food, and it's pricier stuff. The problem with that is it's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's big servings, it's big portions, it's big flavors. I am surprisingly decent with this. I feel like I want money back, but I don't feel like I want money back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I am in the same boat, and that's why I said decent trending thumbs up, because like I'm kind of okay here, but I just like slide me
Do you know how some people are like, let's spoil ourselves tonight and let's go to Red Lobster, which I would never say. But you know how people say that?
Yes,
I'd be like, let's spoil ourselves tonight and let's go to Mouth of the South.
you're not wrong.
You know?
Yeah, I feel you.
You feel me what I'm saying
I
there?
do. I dig you, Piggy.
So I am decent here, okay? It's pricey, but I feel like the price justifies the means.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's well said.
So let's move over to the taste of taste. Let's just go backwards. Sam, how do you feel about the taste? Well, Sam, I'm glad that you asked because the taste of taste here is prevalent. It is front and center. It is the first thing that happens here. The tastes here are flavorful. They're full. They're delicious. I don't want to say they're exotic per se because there are way more weird and tastier concoctions of things put together. But these are great examples of what they're supposed to be. This was a wonderful catfish. This was a wonderful cornbread. This was a wonderful mac and cheese. Mac and cheese bordering top 3 of all time.
I mean, it was good.
Yeah, the taste of taste is on point here. I have nothing to say but good things other than that coleslaw.
No, but everything else good.
So, everything was great. So I am way thumbs up on the taste of taste here. TJ.
Well, for reversing the order, over to me, and I think the worst thing I had was delicious. And the shrimp and grits knocked my socks clean off. I mean, they are gone, folks. I
Hold
don't
on, let
even
me
know
check.
where they went.
Oh, I will tell you this though: his shoes are not on his feet.
Indeed. Cold feet from my socks, just blown clean across the room. So, I can't put these thumbs up any harder. I don't know how. I mean, I could make some modifications in my brain to the kickin' chicken, maybe. Like I might want them wide flat noodles and maybe a touch more dusting of paprika on top or something. I could bump that up a hair, maybe. But the cornbread and the shrimp and grits, I can't make those. I don't know how the cornbread would get any better. And as for the shrimp and grits, I didn't know it could be that good. Like, so good I might, side note, order the crawfish etouffee next time. I might dare. I am thumbs up as hard as I can be on taste.
All right, so
Dave?
Or
yeah.
you then.
So Dave, I think you're next. That's right, Dave. I'll take it away from here. So everything I had was good. I kind of mentioned my, I am not as fish and shrimp centric as you two gentlemen. So my burger was interesting and unique. That macaroni and cheese was ridiculous. The cornbread was awesome. The spoonful of grits I had was really good. These
Helps the
are
medicine go down.
seriously the flavors are unique. They are not too strong. There was no pepper power problems or anything along those lines. So I got to go thumbs up here too. These were very good flavors and done in the right proportions. There was nothing too spicy or too sweet or anything like that. And everything I had flavor. It was good.
All right, moving on to the last component of the 3-component prefecture,
Yes.
the tummy. Mm-hmm. Are you feeling full? Do you feel justified? Are you satisfied? Are you satiated? We're going to go backwards again.
Oh.
Dave.
Hello. I had to be very careful again today due to the large bowl of macaroni and cheese. If I had finished all of that sauce and all of my cornbread, and I did not finish all of my cornbread and all of my sauce.
Not because you were bored.
No, not at all. In fact, towards the end, I actually don't know if you caught me. I unwrapped an unused fork on the table and started poking at the cornbread again because it was tasty.
Attaboy.
But I am thumbs up here. None of these portions were small. Even the burger, which, a burger only gets so big until you make it a pounder or a double patty
Right.
or whatever. For a standard burger, it's a burger with big slices of sausage on it, the cheese lid of Gruyere on there, decent size. I was so impressed for that $1.50 on that mac and cheese. That came out big because you get a premium side for an extra $2 and it's just different. It's like instead of beans, you get, baked beans. Ooh, and it's the same size. This was like an entree, man.
Yes.
So I gotta go thumbs up here, man. They were not skimping on any of this stuff.
Hashtag cheese lid.
Cheese lid and cheese vat, cheese bog.
Cheese bog.
So thumbs up.
TJ.
So over to you, TJ. TJ, do you want to talk about yourself in the third person too? Yes, I do, TJ. Let's talk about our tummies. Could I have put myself well into Hurt Town? Yes. I had a toe into Hurt Town when we left, but here is the, oh no, verbal crutches, but I'm going to use it anyway. Here's the thing. When I left, I had half of one of my entrees, specifically the kickin' chicken. So about half a chicken breast, a whole lot of noodles, and a whole lot of sauce in a carry-out container.
Oh no.
I don't know if TJ has had a carry-out container on Faturday
may be a
Omaha
first.
before. If I have, I don't remember it. But yeah, could I have finished it? Sure. Would I have been really hurting real bad?
Pray for death.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I'm starting to sit in Comfortville. We've taken that toe out of Hurt Town now that it's been a fair amount of time since the meal. So am I looking forward to those leftovers? You bet I am. I am good on full factor. Thumbs up. I think I would almost say full factor to money for the type of meal I'm looking for if I was going to go here and spend that and all that. Yeah, they hit portion size right on the nose. One entree, a side, and maybe a starter, and life would be darn good. Full factor is just right.
Well, and Sam, I think you said something about being, satiated by your meal with the flavors, the quantity, and the depth of flavor. I don't think there's any way you could not be satiated walking out of here.
Sam sat here and listened to Dave wrap up a little bit of thing there and thinking it's his turn to speak next. Sam, how do you feel about that? Well, Sam, I'm glad you asked, Sam.
Let's go to Sam in chopper form.
That was outstanding. How do I feel about the full factor? Well, I am in a weird vortex today, gentlemen.
Vortex. This is a new thing.
I'm in a void. I'm in the twilight zone. I'm in a place called Can't Breathe But Satisfied.
Okay. We need a map.
Usually when you're in Can't Breathe land, you're in right next door to Pray for Death world.
Yeah, usually that's about the time when you might take a walk. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm comfortable. Figure that one out. My breaths are shorter. They're a little labored. Maybe I'm having a heart attack. I don't know. But I am very full. I am not in a world of hurt, but my breaths are shallower. I notice there is not much room in my chest cavity right now. I'm very happy. I'm very, very, very happy. Thumbs way up.
Nice. Wait a minute. Was that so? We had maybe a couple decent on the price thing. Everything else was thumbs up across the board.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Rare occasion.
Now-
Didn't even have to waffle on capital or lowercase d or anything.
Did you say waffles?
Yeah. Hello.
I mean, let's be careful about that. Now we
Okay.
know what used to be in the spot.
Oh dear. Yes.
Let's talk about Fat Life right quick.
Okay.
This is an interesting little anecdote that we added, a fourth category. It doesn't really mean much, just a little, how about that? Fat Life is basically how often you'd want to eat here. Would you want to be a repeat offender anytime soon? I would say for me, this is probably about a 6-week jam. I love the flavors here. I think everything's good. And if somebody wanted to go here like 2 weeks after I did, I'd be like, I'd entertain that thought. But on my own reconnaissance, I think I'm going to go about 6 weeks.
Got you. All right. So yeah, it's kind of that factoid thing. And as we pointed out, it's like places that have really heavy food, we probably don't want to eat there weekly.
That's the problem. This is sitting heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Because like if you ate this every day, that might cause problems. So
Shortness of breath.
let's see. You're at a 6 week. Boy, and it's hard because we've got all these places we go to, and there's the rotation thing. So I am going to go 5 to 6 months on me. So
Wow.
I think, but again, I am not the fish and shrimp,
Understandable.
person that you guys are. But here's the thing, though: if anybody's like, "Hey, I would like to go to Mouth of the South," I could do that weekly or every other week if somebody suggested it. I think on my own, I'm like, yeah, this needs to be in some type of rotation, or whatever. I guess what I'm saying is it needs to be a little distance for me personally, having enjoyed everything.
How good is Rodizio? It's damn good.
It's the same.
And yours is about the same
Yeah,
life shelf.
it is.
shelf
As a
life.
matter of fact, I love Rodizio. It's big and heavy, and I need to prep for it. And you're right; it's probably 6 months for there, and I love them. So there you go.
See now, Mouth of the South, rich, heavy, satisfying, and expensive. 2 weeks at a minimum, probably closer to 4 weeks, I would think, for me. But I could eat it fairly often. I was really digging this. So 2 to 4 weeks on my fat life.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the Granddaddy. The whole reason why we're here, this is the Frampton, the Faturday Omaha rating. Dave, could you break that down for him, please?
Well, I sure can. It's our special rating scale from 0 to 5 in half steps only, and appearing anywhere on the scale is a good thing, even at a 0.5. It's kind of like getting a Michelin star for your restaurant. It means a place that we'd like to come back to for a Faturday. Typically, especially TJ and I eat pretty small, pretty boring during the week. And when it comes to the weekend and Faturday, when it's time for camaraderie, and tasty food, we want to go someplace epic. That's the scale. And my friend Sam, who's sitting across the podcast table of goodness, could you tell me about that other way that you refer to as this, which really weighs heavy, if you will, for me?
Heavy in your fat heart? I get it.
Yes.
I like to break it down as, is this somewhere I would take somebody that is visiting the lovely town of Omaha? Is this someplace they're going to go and like, man, we don't have nothing like this here back where I'm from. I'm going to go back home and tell everybody this awesome meal that I had that I could only get in Omaha. That kind of weighs heavily on my fat heart as well. So it's a big portion for my rating. Dave,
Yes.
go.
So, first and foremost, this is on the Faturday scale for me. All the flavors were amazing. Everything was really tasty and unique. So I will tell you my rating is a 1.5 here, which is a good thing. We are on the Faturday scale, which means I'd like to come back here for a Faturday sometime. Or more so, like you said, Sam, too, I would bring somebody here. Everything is flavorful, large, unique, especially within the Omaha landscape. Not a ton of like tasty southern food kind of hanging out here. The ambiance was nice. Our waiter was on it. Was handling
all over it.
Yeah, and was the drinks never were empty. The food was hot. The food was fresh. The food was tasty. The portions were big. I think you could bring somebody here and they would walk away going, "Yeah, that was a good meal." And so I really enjoyed myself here, and things were in balance. Things were tasty. I liked it. 1.5 for me.
That goes over to me. I am at a 2 myself. I don't know if there's much you could do to improve it, except maybe, in my opinion, expand the menu entrees a little bit. I did find them choices just to be a little lacking. Maybe 2 or 3 selections on each section, except the sides. The sides did have a lot. And I don't remember if I saw a dessert option on there.
Ooh, I think there was, but
Was there?
don't remember.
Okay, well, I don't recall, because I usually like to look things over and just kind of peruse a dessert part of the menu, just to see what might tickle my fancy, if I'm feeling that froggy. But I don't remember seeing anything here. I like the flavors here. The portions are in abundance. Things are delicious. I stand by my 2. Hot and heavy. It's good stuff. I would go back here anytime.
I like it.
TJ.
I'm
Things about
having
things
a hard
is.
time with this because I know the number that I have in my head, and I'm going to say it. I'm not going to change it. I'm listening to yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make me think that I should change it. I'm not going to because
Don't do it.
In my heart of hearts,
That's
this is
what
the
you
number.
want.
This is the number that I'm thinking.
It's got to be from the heart.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Thing about things is.
Oh, verbal crutches. Here is the thing.
Do you have a thing?
I can't think of an improvement here. I mean, I guess you could give me the food for free.
Oh, I got that.
Well,
I
there's
got that
that.
today.
Yeah.
I'm sure it could be like a swankier joint or something.
But
I'm
like you don't
sure-
want it to be?
Yeah, I'm sure there could be some sort of weird food circus thing going on, or there could be.
Yeah, the only way to improvement is just to bring in swamp people with
Yeah.
that skin alligators right in front of you
Can-
and then take
well,
you
or
to the
just
table.
Get
or
an-
like the million things packed into one thing. Like I'm gonna have my fruity pebbles poblano pepper sushi burrito.
Oh, man.
Like some weird sort of nonsense that we kind of love, that sort of out there type of thing on Faturday. There could be all this strange above stuff.
Can I get my
I'm
food
sure-
delivered by tiny airboat?
Exactly. I'm sure there's some. Now you got me designing that in my head, because you could get like a helium balloon with a card under one of those radio controlled blimp things. Anyway, you could somehow make this crazier. I'm sure there's some sort of above and beyond thing that you could do. And I feel like, there's restaurants with Michelin stars out there. But a wise man once said, at this end of the scale exists. And you have these. And you use these. Well, I can't find a reason that this restaurant wasn't perfect. TJ says 5.
Wow.
Wow. That is the first TJ5 to happen in probably 20, 30 some odd plus episodes. My goodness. I love this.
Yeah, would I go there every
Perfect.
night? Would I? There are other things to recommend, other restaurants. I'm sure there's a better Cajun restaurant. There has to be out there somewhere. There has to be some way to top this. But so help me, I can't think of it. There's no reason for me not to make this a 5 in my mind and in my very probably enlarged heart.
Hey, I like that.
That's super fun. I like where that went. That's
Okay.
great. That also makes me happy because we've had this place on our list for quite a long time. I think before the original one had its fire and they moved. So this is the second, iteration of the restaurant. And it always makes me happy when people enjoy food together with me. So,
Indeed.
yay. I guess there is only one other thing to say, and
You're Dave,
you're Sam.
and he's TJ.
Am I?
Sometimes.
Must be.
So I guess thanks for eating with us, and
Eat this.
Saturday, Omaha.
Eat this.
Like
So-
bone.
And it
Chicken
definitely-
bone.
Yep, what?
Chicken bones in harmony.
Tell me what you gonna do when it's just the wings and thighs. When drumstick comes for you, when drumstick comes for you.